Hello, this is Anne Marie, and it's TipTop Tuesday, and it's June 23rd. And I got sidetracked. I'm telling you that it's a little harder. I don't see the comments anymore. So, what I thought I would do is try a neat trick where I would be on my phone too, so I could look to see if I can see the comments. That may not work. And if somebody understands how to do all this, it would be really helpful because I just haven't quite got that one step that's needed. So there we go. Okay. And I'm not seeing myself on this. Oh well, moving forward. So the topic today is self-awareness. And I say that because all of us are stuck home. All of us are with our own thoughts. Some of us that live by ourselves are really stuck with our own thoughts. And so, what I almost came to understand is that self awareness is, especially as we start to go into different phases, is something that I kind of needed to sit back and look at. And for myself, one of the things I did was I realized there's so much noise out there. I mean, I like my Facebook groups and I like my emails, but there's just so much noise out there in the podcasts and all that, although I don't really do podcasts. So I realized that for myself, what I needed to do was to have a yoga meditation room to encourage me to sit quiet with my thoughts. So I did that. I set myself up a little room, and it has a door so I can shut the door. And it symbolically, it says, okay, now you're just with you, and you don't have to, you're not with the world. You're just with you, God, spiritual. And it's a great opportunity for me to learn some things about myself. And one of the things I learned, which it's interesting because it seems to me that people are more aware of other people's than themselves sometimes. They think they know themselves, but they don't. Like, it has just occurred to me this week that one of my defining personality traits is that I am an advocate of social change. Like, I've been that my whole life since I was a kid. But somehow it never occurred to me that I am a social activist to my core. And so I was uh, struck by what I'm 69 now, that it took me this long to figure out what probably everybody else knows. So this time is really a great time to do self-awareness, which is pretty darn cool. And so I thought I would also show you guys a couple things I keep by my desk. One of them says trust your soul. So when I see that, the first thing I can do is I can go in and think about soul's purpose. What's going on with my soul? Does my soul feel heavy? All of that, and it's like almost like a quick prayer, and I feel like it works really well for me. But we all have little ideas, and last week I asked people um, uh, to talk about. I have a note here. It's so funny. When I have two people on, I wish I knew who was on. Maybe I can tell. Okay, I'm going to go to the phone. I am going to figure this out because the whole point of doing live is to be connected with people, right? Nope, it's not showing me. Maybe if you guys send me a comment, then I'll see it on the comment page. How about that? Uh, so, I'm asking people to talk about, like they did last week. What do you do uh, in this time for self-awareness? What have you learned about yourself that may be really obvious to everybody else, but is not necessarily obvious to you? It's like breathing, you just do it. The when I realized that about myself, it allowed me to understand others better. Like, no, not everybody's a social activist. And all of a sudden, instead of me being confused, like, why aren't they doing this? Now I understand, like, because they're not social activists. They have lots of other gifts. They have lots of other purposes, talents. But so by figuring out who I am, it sets a new awareness boundary. So part of this, again, is just setting up a self-awareness boundary. When you recognize who you are, it's a lot easier to recognize who other people are, I think. And I think that's it. Um, yeah. And I hope you guys have a terrific weekend. By the way, I had a great birthday. I had a lot of happy birthdays, and it just filled my heart. Just filled my heart. I was kind of overwhelmed with all the love I got. So thank you. Thank you guys all so much. Take care.